And we got a 1, a 2, and adjust the camera, 3. Hey now, Metal Mike coming in. It is Friday morning. I'm in the bunker. We're about 8 a.m. Minnesota time, and I'm just chilling. What am I going to do? Boy, I got about 2 hours to just hang out here in the bunker and try not to shout, but I got the music playing in the background. I got some Tank playing. I got some Walking Barefoot Over Broken Glass. Look it up. It's an amazing track. What are we going to do today on this camera? I'm going to show you a couple of my pieces from my collection. I got some comments yesterday about my jigglers. Thank you very much for the offer. I would trade some of my jigglers for some German stuff, and the bayonets you showed me are cool, but most of them I would just end up selling. I would only want the Japanese one. If you see something in one of my videos that you're interested in trading for just the Japanese one, I'm down. But in the meantime, I got to show you something. So let's get on it, right? Because that's what we need to be doing. We need to just show stuff, look at stuff, and that's what we're going to do. So we got a couple of tour books I'm going to show you. I got this first one. This is an amazing one. This is from 1977-78 Kiss Alive 2 era tour, original. These typically will go anywhere from $40 to $100, depending on condition. This one I picked up, I think, for $35 to $40 at an antique store here in Minnesota. Sadly, I did not do the work that I needed to do. It's missing a couple of pages. Looks like somebody tore something out here, so it's missing a couple of the shots. But overall, just a great book. Fun to thumb through, classic Kiss era. But here's the one that is the most sought after one. This is from the 1982-83 Creatures of the Night 10th anniversary tour. Let me pull it out of the plastic here so I can show you. I actually went to this concert. The Plasmatics opened up for them. They played at the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota. Stadium was maybe 3/4 full. It was really in an era where Kiss had really bit the bullet and were really struggling to survive. But what really made this tour so special, other than the fact that the Plasmatics opened, was Vinnie Vincent here, was the guitar player, supposedly filling in for Ace Frehley. Dude, Ace was long gone at that point, but I tell you, it's one of my favorite eras of Kiss, the Creatures of the Night album. This is highly sought after. These typically now will go anywhere from $100 on the low end to $500 on the top end. So if you ever see one of these or have one, I'm always looking to trade for one. And if I can figure out how to put it back in the book, or in the plastic here, I actually need to get some type of case. If anyone's familiar with cases big enough that hang on the wall that would hold a tour book, please make a comment. So hang with me here. I know this is tedious, and I know this sucks, and this is probably what makes my videos suck, but so what? I suck and I stink. But I'm still putting the effort forward. And look at this. This is what's frustrating. There we go. There we go. That's me. Always compulsive. Always trying to get things done. So with that being said, let's move down here for a second. Whoop, I dropped down, but you're going to come with me. And we're going to arch this camera up slightly. I'm in my record albums right here. And the reason I'm going down here is I want to show you some really amazing treats of mine. These are original test pressings from Prince. These are very early, 1987. Most of them are unmarked as far as what's on them. So I need to do the research. So I've got all these test pressings, and then in here I have even more test pressings from 88. And let's open those up and look at them. Sterling Sound Scarlet Pussy. Very rare because Prince destroyed most of this stuff that he considered offensive later in his career. So there we go. Very rare. And I will sell those at some point, but I have to just do the research on them. With that being said, what else is there to show you? Let's look around the bunker! I'm looking for these skulls, too, from Disney. These are high demand. And actually, I don't know the pronunciation of the name, but I'm going to zoom in on them for you. Hopefully you can see that right there. These can bring anywhere from 40 to 100 bucks a pop. So if you ever see these at the flea market, they're supposed to glow in the dark, and sometimes they still do if they retain their whatever it is on them that allows them to glow. And here's an original 1960s. You've seen this before, guys, but it's a nice Munsters model kit. And for the right German helmet, it could be yours, or Iron Cross. Here's another favorite that I just added to my collection. Not for trade, not for sale, but part of the collection. I grew up, my father owned a comic book store, so all of the comics have a very, very special place in my heart. And right here I have Gorgar. Try to get a shot of Gorgar. The first talking pinball machine. I found this in an alley next to a dumpster, probably, hell, I would bet you almost 15 plus years ago. Ended up selling it to a buddy of mine for $500, which I had zero into it at the time, and then ended up getting it back in 2011 in a trade, so I'm very stoked to have it. It's not working right now. It lights up, it fires up. It has worked from 2011 up until just about a month ago, and it stopped. You know these things are very touchy, so I have to have a guy come out here and tweak it. It's typically not that much money, but hey now, that's how it goes. We're in the bunker, repeating myself as always. That's what I love to do. I'll just show you a little bit of the deco here. This is a great piece. This is, I forget, this is painted on glass. I'm sure it's very, very... You guys probably can't see much of it, and I apologize for that, but I found that in a garage, and an old man had it, and I just loved it. This was a garage sale find, I think last year or the year before, $5. You just gotta love it. It does crumble a little bit. Sometimes these little balls here will fall off. And of course, obviously, I like the monkey with the human skull. Nice model, and of course Abe Lincoln. I always respected him, and I've always been into him. I think I did a book report on him back in the 3rd or 4th grade, and since then I've always been fascinated with Lincoln. If you ever can do the research of the things that happened to Lincoln's body after he died, it is fucking amazing what he went through. They had him hidden all over the place, and someone even tried to steal his body at one point. Just an amazing history. Do the research on it. There's quite the amazing story behind it. He actually, his body laid at rest in a basement in a mausoleum. They buried him under dirt and then threw old lumber over it, and it sat there forever. And then when they finally put him in his resting place, they had him in a cave, I believe, for a while, and now you could never get to him. They've got barbed wire and cement poured over that, and cement poured over that. You could never get to his corpse at this point. But when they moved him to his final resting place where he sits today, they opened up the casket and they looked at him, and he looked as fresh as could be, like he had just passed. Dude, look up the research. A History Station a few years ago did an amazing in-depth story about what happened to Lincoln's corpse. I believe it had Who Stole Lincoln's Body. But whatever the case, look it up. It's really great American history, and most people do not even know about it. With that being said, writing and scratching, that's all she does. Pedal car, $100 I picked it up for. Guitar I picked up in a trade. And the original R2-D2, which I think came out in about 98, 97, I forget. Really a cool little robot toy. Metal Mike, always hunting, always ranting, always raving, never shutting up. Above ground, blessed, just like you. Get out there, find it today. We got a high today of 34. We might get up to 40. But we got tons of snow out there. It's slushy and dirty, and there's not many garage sales. So if you got that nice weather, get out there and find it. Hey now!